Welcome to New Knoxville, NKTelco Sports. We are here at Minster High School where the Fort Loramie Redskins take on the Minster Wildcats. Tonight's game sponsored by Minster Bank, Schwederman's Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, West Staff, Hometown Opportunities, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers Insurance, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, and First National Bank. Once again, Dave Helmstetter alongside me, Jeff Henchen, NKTelco Sports, Minster at Fort Loramie. A great opening night of high school football and a game in which the Minster Wildcats, state runner-ups a year ago, face off with their rivals just down the road.
That's right, Dave. Both these teams, has been a common occurrence. They've opened up with each other since Fort Loramie began football in the 2005 season. This now the 15th meeting between these two teams, but again, a perfect night here at Minster. It's going to be a nice, clear night for both teams. The field's going to play quick, and looking forward to a big game considering last year's game, Dave, decided in overtime, a game which Minster won 26-20. So you got to think the Redskins, a little bit of chip on their shoulder, anxious to get back at them tonight.
Fort Loramie, on the other hand, last year 5-5. This year, even though this is a non-league game, they're entering a new football conference for this season.
Yeah, they enter the Cross-County Conference League. They had been members of the Northwest Central Conference for the past 4 or 5 seasons. Before that, the Buckeye Metro Conference. So jumping around trying to find a home for the Redskins, and they're going to be one of the bigger schools in that cross-county conference, and they're going to look to, hopefully do well and try to win that title as well.
Should be a great night for football here on NKTelco Sports. We'll be back with the opening kickoff of tonight's game from Minster. Tonight we've got Minster and Fort Loramie, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony Home Management System. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Isaac Schmeising will tee it up for the Minster Wildcats, and he's number 4. And of course, as we talked a little bit about it before we went on the air, Minster a couple of big replacements, and one of them is Bryce Schmeising. And Isaac Schmeising, Jeff, is going to be called on to do a lot of things here this evening.
Yeah, he is, and you mentioned Bryce. He was a kicker last year, did a nice job for him, a critical part of the game, and one of those areas you don't usually think about having to replace, but you need someone that's consistent.
Fort Loramie will have the football first. They'll take over on their own 40 after the kick by Isaac Schmeising. And Schmeising in on the stop. He'll make the tackle, and Fort Loramie will have it 1st and 10, and the first offensive series of the 2017 season is upon us.
And you'll look for Fort Loramie, as would think, Dave, to run the ball a lot. They had some good running backs last year. Dan Burney and also Jake Ward ran the ball a lot. That was their bread and butter. And
Mesher, he'll go to the right side, but Wildcats spread the play out, and Colin Mesher looks like a loss of about 2 yards on the play.
Carter Mesher there, yeah, nothing working for him. Minster's defensive line doing a nice job stretching the play out, and really when you run out of room on the sideline, then that way the defense can kind of corral, and they held Mesher to a loss. And Fort Loramie ran the ball well last year, Dave, averaged over 230 yards on the ground.
They pretty much keep it on the ground as Austin Siegel calls the signals. go to the right side, and there's no gain and possibly a loss there as the Minster defense and Coach Stokes, the theme this year is relentless, and on the first 2 plays of this season, that's a pretty good description, Jeff.
They stuffed that time, number 45, Mike Hoyne, again for another loss of about a yard. So 2 plays, minus 3 yards. Minster defense, very strong here to start. And a big play here for the offense for the Fort Loramie Redskins. And hate to give the Wildcats the ball this quick with barely any time running off, but they have a long 3rd and 12 here to keep possession.
Sagal, short pass. That's Hoyne. He's hit hard at about the Fort Loramie 45. He'll go forward to the 46. So that'll make it 4th down, and we'll call it 4, possibly 5 yards. So Fort Loramie will most likely punt the football.
Yeah, you would think so on their side of the 50-yard line, and they will punt, but nice to get some positive yards there, at least get to respectability with the 4th down here, but a quick 3 and out for the Redskins.
Blake Holthouse will punt it away for Fort Loramie, a low line drive punt that's going to bounce at about the 30. On the return is Minster, and they will get it to Isaac Schmeezing will handle it.
Well,
good job. Like he's right at the 20.
Good job by the Redskins. They didn't give the Wildcats any return yards and force at least Minster to go more of the field, if you will. And their offense has been very good. And when you have the Player of the Year in the Midwest Athletic Conference as your quarterback, you know their offense is going to be fired up. They lose a couple big players from last year, and Schmeezing, also Jonathan Niemeyer. So they have also some big shoes to fill on offense.
2 very big offensive players for the Wildcats in their drive in the playoffs. There's the short pass to Lempool. He's going to lunge forward. Looks like that'll be we'll call it a gain of 5. Let's make it 2nd down and 5. So Niemeyer, his replacement for this year in the offense. Lempool makes the first reception, and Hillsman's 1 for 1 as the Wildcats looking at, they'll call that a gain of 4. Let's make it 2nd and 6. Schmeezing, 1st down, still on his feet across the 40 to near the 45. Isaac Schmeezing.
Good speed by Schmeezing. He wasn't touched until he almost probably had the 1st down marker. Then he was able to still get through and gain more positive yardage. Schmeezing, a quick 5'9" senior, and Minster on 2 plays, they have a quick 1st down.
And they're going to keep the pressure on in the way they play their offense. 2 receivers to the right side. Hillsman alone in the backfield. Here comes that short pass again. They'll be across midfield as Schmeezing moves it into Fort Loramie territory. It'll be marked at the 48. One of the big concerns of Coach Stokes this season is the offensive line. Obviously, they had to replace the entire offensive line, but Jeff, it looks pretty good here in the opening go.
Well, they're getting the ball out away from the lineman. It's like an extended handoff. Now you get it out here in space where it's basically one-on-one. You get a good blocker up front. And I'm not saying your offensive line doesn't do anything, but when you get it out quickly, you don't have to run up the middle right now. They can spread it out and force the guys on the edges to play one-on-one football. And if you get a good block, you get positive yards.
Utilizing that great speed and quickness, football quickness that Schmeezing and Lempool have. Lempool will be on the far right side. Looks like Schmeezing will be in the backfield. He'll take the football and forward he will move. He'll come to the 41-yard line of Fort Loramie. So that'll make it 3rd down. Let's call it 3 yards to go for the Wildcats.
Big play for the Redskins defense, although you'd think Minster, if they don't get it on this try here, would go for it on 4th down. But Minster, all their offense so far been to the outside or to the edges. This time they go up the middle and get positive yards. It didn't catch Fort Loramie totally asleep trying to cover the edge, but positive yards makes a very manageable 3rd and 4.
Hillsman will keep it. He'll go across the 40-yard line. He's brought down there by number 45, Mike Hoyne, 5'10", 200-pound senior.
Hoyne got in there quickly to make contact. Give credit to Schmeezing, though. He was able to, Hillsman, I guess it was, able to fall forward, and again, it turns out to be just 4th and a yard.
Big play here in the early minutes of play. Hillsman, he'll go right side, first down and more. Across the 30 to the 25, and the drive continues for Minster.
Nice job by that young offensive line, Dave, that you spoke about, that made just a big enough hole, and it was an easy pickup for the first down. No contact till well down the field, and probably almost a touchdown saving tackle by Nicholas Sparks. I'm sorry, by Carter Mesher, number 21.
Hillsman looks to the sideline, and we've got a pause in the action.
Smeezing comes off, not for sure if it was equipment. I believe they called it an equipment substitution. Helmet maybe came loose, so he'll come out one play.
Alex Schmidtmeyer, number 22 in the game. He'll catch the pass here. He's on the left side. He's only a sophomore.
Nice job taking care of his opportunity. Wasn't expecting to go in, came in for the equipment substitution. Not only catches the ball, but gains 8.
Second down, call it about. Second down, they'll call it 4. Football resting at about just inside the 20-yard line. Hillsman, he'll keep it. Powers forward to near the first down.
Impressive opening drive. We saw Fort Loramie open up with 3 plays and out. 2 of those were loss of yards plays. Minster has basically been positive yards on every snap they've taken here on their first possession.
They'll be just a little bit short of that first down, so it sets up a third down and short. 6:15 to go on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard from Minster. Hillsman fakes the toss. He'll keep it. Flag on the play. That may not be a good sign for the Wildcats.
Initial signal is holding on Minster, so that'll push them back. Make this third and a little bit longer.
So a penalty here in the first quarter on what looked to be a very nice Minster drive is going to cause some problems here.
Still, I believe, 2-down territory here, 3rd down and 10. I figure Minster will, if they don't get it on 3rd, will definitely go for it on 4th down.
And it's going to make it 3rd down and 11. Football goes all the way back to the 27-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 11. Football to 27. They've got to get to just about the 16-yard line for that first down. Hillsman's going to throw it. Rolls right, almost intercepted. Pass will be incomplete. Intended for number 14, Austin Brown. And
Cody Barhorst, one step away from maybe returning the distance as Cody Barhorst jumped the route, did everything but catch the ball.
Let's take a look at that one again. There you see Barhorst, and he was thinking the same thing, Jeff.
Maybe the sun was in his eyes. It's a bright sun, and he was looking that direction, but boy, I'd like to have that one over. 9 times out of 10, he probably catches it, and I don't think anyone would have caught him.
It would have been a foot race, that's for sure, but it's 4th down, 11 to go. Hillsman over the middle. Schmeezing, he's going to have the first down, and boy, just a beautiful play there.
That was huge. I mean, think about the drive up until the penalty. They were moving on like clockwork. Then you have the penalty, almost a turnover. And that ball, if they don't get a first down, Fort Loramie dodges the bullet and takes over. Now they not only get 4th and long, but first down and right back to offense.
Schmeezing takes that swing pass and gets near the end zone. Marking it to 2. Boy, just a swing. Barhorst could have been looking at 6. And Minster just relentless, right back on offense. Schmeezing, he'll get the call. He's near the end zone, but not quite in.
Boy, tough assignment for the Fort Loramie defense now. Is just a short distance for the Wildcat offense. Yeah, you mentioned, Dave, what a swing here. Could have easily been Fort Loramie, and now it's Minster knocking on the door. Come up with a huge 4th down play to keep the drive alive.
Austin Brown will go to the left side as well as Lemkool. So the 2 receivers are to the left. Schmeezing's in the backfield, and we've got a penalty.
That'll push the Wildcats back
procedure.
Movement on the offensive line, that'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats.
Those are the things that upset coaches.
STP, sacks, turnovers, and penalties.
Penalties.
And they've had 2 penalties on this drive, almost had the turnover. Of course, they've not given up a sack, but those are the killers, especially when you're inside the red zone.
That'll push it back to the 7, but so far Fort Loramie really hasn't been able to stop this Minster offense. But it still makes it 3rd down and 7.
A little bit of breathing room for the Fort Loramie defense. They're going to have to do it twice here if they want to keep the Wildcats out of the end zone.
Out of the shotgun, Hillsman right side. In on the stop, number 62, I believe. That's Cole Egbert, senior defensive lineman with the stop. And
he came around from the backside. Give credit to the defensive line, kind of blocking the hole up front, nowhere to go. And Egbert coming around from would be the left side, I guess. He was able to get the running back down and create now, again, another critical 4th down. Minster already 1 for 1 on this drive, converting 4th downs. 3 wide receivers, Dave, here to the right.
Here we go. Hillsman, bobble, snap. He's on the scramble, and Fort Loramie is going to hold Minster on.
Huge stop by the Redskins. Minster was within, a half a yard, Dave, from scoring, and they self-induced error. The penalty moves them back, gives the Redskins defense a chance, and they come through. And unfortunately now for the Redskin offense, they've got no room for error. They are down on about the 6.
You look at it and just small mistakes, and unfortunately, big results. Siegel will handle the football. Rather, that goes to Hoyne out of the backfield. The old, single wing formation. Hoyne will take it.
Just trying to find a quick seam or crease there that you can get away from the Minster line. Maybe shoot a gap and get away from your end zone. You want to try to sustain a drive here. You don't want to punt right away and give the Wildcats the ball back. So this is a very important series for the Fort Loramie offense.
Looks like a yard pickup, so that'll make it 2nd down and 9 for Fort Loramie. Just a wonderful drive by the Wildcats, but it comes up short. Hoyne again will handle it. He'll go across the 10-yard line. The stop there by Alex Lemcool, number 3. He'll make the tackle, and football will rest, really closer to the 11 than the 10, so.
Take another look right there. Hoyne trying to, again, go diagonally, but good pursuit by the Minster defense. Got a couple, but didn't let him break the big one. And I think Hoyne, if he gets a step on someone and gets a little bit of a crease going, he's a heck of a load to try to bring down.
Call it 3rd down and 6. Siegel takes the snap, handoff Hoyne.
Tripped up in the backfield.
It's like number 50 on the stop there for Minster, and that's Anthony Bainline.
Excellent job by Bainline getting in there, more importantly, going low. You're trying to tackle Hoyne at 5'10", 200 pounds, so you got to get low, and he did a heck of a job knocking his feet out, and the rest of the defense came over to force this 3rd and 4 punt now.
Holdhouse stands at his 1-yard line and kick away, and Schmeezing, he'll pick it up at the Minster 45, and he'll bring it back to the 49 before he's knocked out of bounds there by a host of Redskins, led by number 3, Max Hoyne.
Schmeezing took a gamble, Dave. The ball was head over heels, spinning, if you will, and it bounced. Schmeezing put his hand out. He prevents it from obviously rolling further down the field, but you know how that can be when you don't catch a round object, in this case oblong. It could easily have been muffed, or you get a good look right here. Just nice.
Take a look
play.
at it again. Here's Schmeezing.
More importantly, that return wasn't so much. He saved field position by preventing the ball going further towards the goal line or towards his own end zone. But, boy, you take a risk there, and you hate to give up too good a field position on a turnover.
And the Wildcats will have the football as they've had it for most of this opening quarter. Hillsman will call the signals. Looking at that Fort Loramie defense. He'll look left side, goes down over the middle. Pass is complete. It will go to the 35. Jack Heitbrink, number 25, a 6'3 junior with the catch.
He's a big target, 6'3", and he was wide open. No one picked him up. Kind of an easy pitch and catch as a good read by Hillsman to see his big target, and Minster took advantage of it.
And it's a first down for the Wildcats. Hillsman, he'll look right side. This one goes to Alex Lemkool. And that's a pickup of 5, so we'll make it second down and 5. And
well, the Wildcats, you mentioned the pace here. They go at it. The 25-second clock whistle just blew right there, so they're ready for play. And within 6 seconds of that whistle starting, they're already snapping the ball.
Amazing. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Stop there by number 4, Nick Brandowie.
Remember last drive, Dave, Minster really caused their own defeat, if you will, with the penalties, and have to play clean here and try to take advantage of good field position and some of that, the momentum. Even though they didn't score in the last drive, they dominated the game, if you will. Just the errors that they committed themselves cost them points on the board.
3 major penalties in that drive, and it stopped them every time. Hillsman, he'll go right side, and there's another flag. Those flags are in that holding zone.
And that flag was thrown right at about, just back from the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple yards, so it's going to push them from there back 10 more. So very interesting now, third and probably double figures, maybe 12.
Well, the pattern, the second pattern emerging is penalties.
Yep.
And that definitely is not what the Wildcats would like to see here.
You give
tonight.
The Redskins on defense now a chance here, much more. As you see the penalty there, I guess they called on number 60 there in the backfield, but gives the defense of the Redskins, more confidence, if you will. And that's a quick end here, Dave, as the first quarter is already in the books.
First quarter is history. We're still looking for the first score of 2017. Our score, Minster nothing, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
Back here at Minster, opener for the 2017 high school football season, and it's been an interesting quarter. The Wildcats moved the football rather well and probably have some good numbers to show for it, but the big number is what I believe 4 penalties, which slowed the entire offensive drives down.
Dominated, but nothing to show for it on offense. So, but here, that penalty you just mentioned, a 4th of the game, now has them at 3rd and 15. So again, for the Redskins defense, this is another set of big plays coming up here. Stop a good offense and get the ball back. Let your offense try to get on track, which they've struggled in 2 possessions, 2 3 and outs. But the defense is doing what they can to try to keep the offense of the Wildcats scoreless.
Hillsman will keep it.
Good job by the Redskins turning Hillsman back into the defense.
Number 32, Cody Barhorse. We call that number a lot for Fort Loramie so far. He's the one that really slowed Hillsman down. And that's going to set up a 4th and 12, and Schmeezing will stand at midfield to punt it away.
Yeah, just too much to risk it there and give the Redskins decent field position. Try to pin them back like where they took over their last drive near the inside of 10 and the Fort Loramie offense tried to get it themselves. Nice
Kick
punt.
almost blocked. Fair catch and
Started about the 10.
about the 10-yard line. Number 12 with the fair catch, Nathan Ratterman.
Quick numbers, you mentioned the first quarter, Dave. Minster in the first quarter gained 112 yards compared to 12 for the Redskins. So total domination, but the only one that really matters, you mentioned on the scoreboard, 0-0. And the Redskins offense now a chance to, prove themselves a little bit and get a first down, nothing else. Move the chains, keep the defense of the Redskins on the sideline, let them rest a little bit, and let your offense work against the Minster defense.
Siegel will throw the football. They'll pick up a couple. What was the time of possession in that first quarter, Jeff? Had to be
a whole lot to not very much.
A whole lot. Had to be at least 8 or 9 minutes.
It will. Yeah, Fort Loramie's 2 possessions. I don't have it here, but it's got to be
8 minutes or so.
I'd say 8-4, 9-3. Minutes-wise, you play 12-minute quarters. Minster had it, a vast majority of it. Boy, nothing really fooling the Minster defense. They Hoyne direct snap, got it, and they try to run measure in motion to try to confuse the Minster defense, Dave, but nothing for the offense able to get positive yards.
It's going to set up a 3rd down, 5 yards, a little bit more than 5 yards, a long 5. Football arrested about the 15.
To answer your question, Dave, Minster held the ball for 7 minutes and 43 seconds in the first quarter compared to 4 minutes 17 for the Redskins.
Siegel back in the pocket. He's going to try to scramble under pressure.
Oh, nice.
He'll go downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. It was intended for Barhorse, number 32, playing on the offensive side of the ball.
Penalty marker down on about the 10-yard line. It appears to be against the Redskins.
Flag on the play, holding against the Redskins.
I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game between Minster and Fort Loramie. Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Minster Bank, and Schwederman's Pharmacy, all bringing you tonight's football game between Minster and Fort Loramie. Redskins will kick it away, and it's a nice punt. Schmeezing will field it at the Minster 45. He'll go to the right side. He'll pick up about 4 yards before he's stopped there by number 3. And that is number 3, Max Hoyne, on the stop for Fort Loramie. Second time we've called Max's number on special teams. 9:51 to go on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Looking for our first score of the season as the Wildcats, they huddle up on their side of the field. They break the huddle. Hillsman will lead them out.
4 different Wildcat receivers, Dave, have already caught a pass tonight. So it's,
that's pretty amazing fact, really. This will be Schmeezing.
Nice blocking by the offensive line. Schmeezing kind of easy running as he gains a first down, a very near a first down, as he wasn't touched until he got to the line to gain.
Let me check that number. It was 22, Alex Schmidtmeyer, the sophomore with that run. Just automatically call Schmeezing, but it was Schmidtmeyer who's in the lineup, and he goes back out, and Schmeezing is back in, but Schmidtmeyer's run gives the Wildcats a first down.
Schmidtmeyer's come in nicely. He came in early in the first quarter when Schmeezing went out with the equipment repair and caught a nice pass, and now ran 10 yards to give his team a first down.
Schmeezing with a run this time, and that's a first down as Mike Hoyne, number 45, makes the stop for Fort Loramie. But
the yellow marker down on the grass.
There's a flag on the field. There you see the Minster offense.
Maybe there was a reason he had such a big hold.
Yeah. It'll be a hold.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, so if you're blocking and backing up in the backfield, it can turn out to be more than a 10-yard penalty, maybe closer to this case. It's about 11 or 12, but a break for the Redskins defense, and that's what they've gotten on the first two Minster possessions, Dave, is penalties to help them stop the Minster offense.
Hillsman will carry it. In on the stop, number 3, Max Hoyne. Number 44 also in on the stop. That's C.J. Billing.
I wondered what the field was like, Dave, down with the Wildcats going now right to left. That's the way the Redskins started the game with the sun, but now it's now set, and now when Minster gets it is a fumble.
Got a fumble is Barhorse again with the hit.
Well, break for the Redskins. Forget about the sun for a moment.
Penalties all over the fly. We got a little frustration on the part, and going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on someone in that scramble for the loose football. We'll have to wait till it all shakes down, but Fort Loramie recovers the fumble. There you see our officials for tonight's game.
Boy, sacks, turnovers, and penalties, STPs. Minster's committed to penalties, and now they've committed the turnover. We'll see once what the actual call is here as unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wildcats. So Fort Loramie not only possession, but now will gain some extra field position and probably get it just across the midfield stripe.
So it's a 15-yard penalty against Minster.
You mentioned the word relentless, Dave, earlier, how you saw that and their motto, the one-word statement. And I'm not saying it's not that, but maybe that right now a little bit of discipline. You know, it's like they've had a lot of penalties and things happen. I'm not saying that that is the reason, but, you know, right now they've really been hurting themselves, need to tighten up and play cleanly, because right now Fort Loramie given another opportunity here.
8:49 to go in this second quarter. Sometimes you can be just a little too over-aggressive. There you see the Fort Loramie offense. Siegel's number 22. Minster defense shifts. Siegel, short pass. Hoyne, he'll be stopped. There'll be a loss of a couple yards.
Loss of about a yard, and Fort Loramie trying to almost do like what Minster did, get like an extended handoff. But that one just seemed like it took a long time to develop.
That was easily read by the defense.
And the lineman able to kind of pursue over, if you will, and shut down any hole that would have been there if it was a little bit quicker. Now, how do you do that? I don't know, but a little bit of a slow developing play. We'll see if Fort Loramie can bounce back here and take advantage of a Minster turnover.
In motion. Throw it. He's going to throw it. Downfield.
Should be a penalty.
All over the place. Nick Brandowy is the one, number 4, who tossed it downfield.
Well, what made it nice there, Dave, with Brandowy going in motion, catching the ball, going towards the Fort Loramie sideline. He's a left-handed thrower, so made it for a very easy throw from that side. As there you see the obvious contact. Probably not a bad play for the Minster defender. You know, it's only 15 yards versus letting him catch it down there if you felt like you were beat or got kind of caught up in play action.
That's a big call, and it goes against Minster, pass interference. So it's 1st and 10 for Fort Loramie.
The defensive PI, probably now the 5th or 6th penalty of this first half for the Wildcats.
That receiver was doubled up on even. Siegel in the pocket, he's hit. Pass deflected, incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Good pursuit by the Minster defense. I think Max Prenger.
In with the pressure, number 52, Max Prenger, and also number 62, Sam Smeezing.
Boy, Max Prenger, he's 6 feet 6 inches. Sam Smeezing, number 62, 6 foot 3 inches. So talk about having to throw over some
and they were
tall
on him.
Yeah, they not only got pressure, but you send the tallest guys in, and it makes it very difficult for Siegel.
He was in the pocket. He had time. There just wasn't anybody open. Siegel, he's going to throw it again. He'll go to the right side. Short gain. Nice hit by Jared Hillsman, number 2 for Minster. Pass completed to number 6, Mason Kemper, a junior wide receiver for Fort Loramie.
Kemper, a nice tall target at 6 foot 3 inches, but no room for yards after catch for Kemper. Did make the catch. Brings up 3rd and 7. And a different style offense is Fort Loramie, more deliberate as play clock down to about 10 seconds now. And Minster usually has 2 or 3 plays running about that amount of time.
That's right, they run them off very quickly. Siegel, the clock is at 3 seconds. Clock's at 1, they get it off. Siegel, he's going to run it to the right side. Hole is going to quickly close.
You know, it's bad when you see Siegel running towards the sideline. There was a bunch of black shirts standing out of bounds, and there was a bunch of black shirts around where he was running. Nowhere to go.
Not a friendly environment. Max Springer and Kyle Reithman all in on the stop. Let's take a look at that one again.
And just nowhere to go even when he scrambled. And you'll see a couple black shirts there and about 5 others making sure he didn't get by.
Jacob Hoyne, number 13, also in on the stop.
The 4th down, the smart play for the Redskins here, yes.
Another big 4th down play. Scoreless battle, first half. Siegel fakes left. He's going to go long. He's going for the end zone.
Intercepted.
Intercepted.
Alex Lemcool.
Lemcool with the interception.
Well, Fort Loramie, Dave, instead of getting the first down, went for a bunch. I thought they had a guy out to the left, and it looked like the defense bit on him, but they didn't bite enough for the receiver going down the field. And, you know, I still like the idea. Throw it deep. They probably gained field position because he probably threw it from back on the 30, so the touchback puts it on the 20. So it's worth a shot.
Well, the play kind of stopped and let the defense allow itself to get back into the flow of the thing. So the receiver really hung up there for a while. Take a look at it. You'll see everybody kind of catch up to the play. See the defenders? Right there we go. Boy, there's a face mask there that they didn't call. See that real clear on the replay. Pass intended there for Mason Kemper. Right back the other way we go. And Lemcool with the catch.
Well, he's hot. 2 plays, 2 catches for Lemcool. 1 on defense, 1 on offense. And I'd feed him again. He seems to be the hot receiver right now. And
there you see Lemcool, number 3. Nice catch by Alex. 6:47 to go here in the first half of football action from Minster. Beautiful near fall evening here on the Wildcats home field in a dandy football game. Right side goes Schmeezing across the 40 near the first down with that extra burst. Depends on where they mark it. Looks like he'll be about a half a yard short. Make it 2nd down and short. This would be the perfect place for Hillsman to go long.
Well, they haven't really thrown it downfield. They go on side to side and let their speed kind of spread the defense out and catch and go. But you're right, maybe a chance here to
go for the home run right here.
Take a shot to the west.
Let's see. They're going down the middle. They'll get the first down.
Defense for Fort Loramie backpedaled abruptly, so, you know, that rather than go deep like you thought, a better opening underneath, higher percentage pass and catch, and more importantly for the Wildcats, you move the chains. And I think one goal for the Wildcats offense right now is, can we go a series on offense without a penalty? You know, see if they can stop us without us stopping ourselves here. And you get down near this end of the first half. Minster won the toss to start the game, so they're going to get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter. A score here near halftime, you know, and you get the kickoff in the 3rd quarter, and you go down and score again. You can really make it difficult for the Redskins.
Hillsman will move the football. We'll call it 2nd down and 3. And clock is counting. 5:27 to go as you see it on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. He fakes the run. He'll drop back. Here we go. For the end zone, interference. That one will go against Fort Loramie.
And the flag on the play.
And just too much bumping around. Defender didn't really have their eye on the ball, so made it for a pretty easy pass interference on the defense.
Pass interference against Fort Loramie. First down, Minster. Take a look at it again. Yes.
Alice Mormon.
And for the Wildcats, as we mentioned in our pregame, these teams have met in the first week of the high school football season since Fort Loramie began having football, and that was in the 2005 season. So the 13th season, these teams have met in week 1.
Schmeezing will handle the football, and he'll go
down near the first down marker.
Almost at the 7. See where they mark it.
About on the 7.
I'm going to call it the 9. A little hard to tell from our viewpoint. Marked at the 9, bad snap. Hillsman, he'll do the fire drill and try and pick up a yard or so, but Fort Loramie's defense converges.
That would have been one of those plays, although it wouldn't have been a sack, turnover, or penalty, if Hillsman doesn't knock that high snap down and it goes over his head and he basically has to run back and fall on it. He's probably losing 10 yards right there. So he did a nice job not only saving that but gaining a couple.
Hillsman needed all of his 6'2" frame to pull that one in. He'll be back in the shotgun formation. He'll take it. He's going to go right side, waits for the hole, finds it, end zone. Jared Hillsman very patiently waited for the hole, waited for the play, and found it, and now finds the end zone. Touchdown Minster with 4:08 to go here in the first half of play.
Yeah, nice job, very patient with Hillsman. You said it took a little bit for him to find what he wanted, but the offensive line kept working and really didn't allow any defensive penetration, so it was just a matter of time before he lowered his head and went through the line and into the end zone.
Schmeezing will try to tack on the extra point. Pranger with the snap. Kick is up. It's good. Our second quarter score from Minster. Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. Take a look at the replay of the scoring drive. Our score, Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing.
We knew that we could use hometown opportunity as an avenue to reach out to people, not just in this community, but across the state.
Hometown opportunity was my saving grace, honestly.
We viewed it as a great resource for us to get the word out about our company.
I saw all the commercials, billboards, and I thought, just give it a shot, why not? And they offered me a photography job on the spot, which was thrilling because I've been searching for months.
The Hometown Opportunity website definitely makes that connection.
Minster scores first with 4:08 to go here in the first half of play. Wildcats have had a lot of offense in this half. They just have only scored once.
Well, Dave, probably the first possession they've had without a
penalty.
So,
yep.
And they avoided a potential loss of yards and a high snap to turn that into positive yards. So a very efficient drive for the Wildcats. And
timeout Minster.
Coach Stokes not happy with something.
And we will take a timeout. 4:08 to go here in the first half. Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back right after this.
For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
Minster took the timeout right before they were to kick off. Not sure of the reason. Something needed to be set straight for the Wildcats, but Fort Loramie they'll have 4:08 to go. And
well, you want to make sure your assignments, alignments, lanes, whatever you want to call them, are covered because you're dominating the game on defense, and you'd hate to let Fort Loramie kind of get some momentum with a breakdown on your special teams. So maybe they should have called another timeout.
Oh, he lost the football. It's loose at the 45.
Tough break.
Oh, he had open field. Schmeezing was the only person between him and an even longer run.
And I don't know if he was trying to make the move and just lost it switching hands. There's also a penalty marker down on the far right side of the, or towards the Redskin. We'll see it. Look
Let's
here.
take a look at this one again. That's Carter Mesher.
Smeezy maybe made him switch hands.
Oh, he just popped out.
Yep. Boy, fortunate to get it back.
My, oh, my.
Now, remember, there still is a penalty down, and it's about on the 37-yard line, not for sure. I didn't see anything. We'll get the call right here.
All sorts of weird things happen on the first night of the football season.
Sideline infraction. I think that's usually a warning.
I believe
no,
so.
They're marking it off. They're going backwards. And I don't know, does that mean like the players? Hold on. 15 yards, wow.
Unsportsmanlike.
Is that when you get, like, you get excited, you start getting past you, like on the field, like jumping down to see what's going on? Is that what they flagged them for? Or it might be when the officials are running down the sideline. If you bump them, that's infraction. So.
And that may have happened there because they were excited about the run. Then all of a sudden the ball is out of Mesher's hands. They're scrambling for it. And, boy, that's an unusual play. Fort Loramie has the football, but
lost 15 yards of good field position. Yeah, he fumbled it up here, but the penalty was back there, so tough break and makes it more difficult for the offense.
Here comes the sweep to the right side. That's Mesher. 5'10", junior running back.
Redskins, Dave, coached by Whit Parks, his third season at Fort Loramie last year. They missed the playoffs for the first time in 7 seasons, so they're looking to bounce back. And Coach Parks also had coached here at Minster for 7 seasons, dating back to the 99 through 2005 season here at Minster as a head coach.
Fort Loramie will have the football. Second down and about 5. They're going straight ahead. Run. They have a first down and more.
Hoyne.
He'll go across the 30 to the 20 to the 10. He's knocked out of bounds. Mike Hoyne with a big run.
Earlier in the game, I mentioned if he gets free, he's going to be tough to catch or bring down. And he had a nice block and did a lot of it on his own. And Minster just not there to get him tackled.
5'10", 200 pounds. You get the freight train going, and let's take a look at that one again.
He just broke through, and there was no one there. And 57-yard run by Hoyne. And, boy, just like that, Fort Loramie knocking on the door. Still need to get the ball in the end zone to answer the Minster score.
Couple of good saves, hustle saves there by Minster. Hoyne's in the end zone. Hoyne's going to keep it inside the 5. He'll get to the 4-yard line. Make it second down and goal from the 4. Austin Brown, number 14, in on the stop for the Wildcats.
Boy, the offense for Fort Loramie kind of stagnant the whole first half, but
big play there.
It just takes one play to kind of change the, in this case, field position. Now, Fort Loramie still has some work to do. They'll have 3 shots at it, but it's been very tough going. Other than the one big run, the 57-yarder by Hoyne, it's been tough for them to gain yards.
I think you'd want to go right over the big tackle, Sam Putoff, number 70. There they go. Right side. Brandewee. Not much there. Tried to get to that left side.
Well, the Minster defense, I think this is
tell you what,
big
Sam
Putoff, too. Yeah.
Senior, 6'4", 270-pounder. He's on that left tackle spot. We got third down.
You would suggest to go his
way.
It is third down and still 4 yards to go. So it's, you remember when you get this close, it is close to the end zone, but the defense is more compact too.
Well, that play didn't happen fast enough. It was way too slow. Minster's defense is
way
able
too
to
quick,
react. It's got to go fast.
Bang, bang.
Left side.
Needs a block.
Cut. Mesher near it. Didn't get in. Tell you, Carter Mesher, he stretched the play out, then he cut inside, and then he made that lunge, and he was so very close.
So timeout, it looks like, for the Wildcats.
4th down, and boy, it's not much more than a yard. We have a timeout. Take a look at it. There you see Carter Mesher. He'll make that last lunge, and we'll return our score. Minster 7, Fort Loramie 0.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers to families with the pitter-patter of little feet to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
We have a timeout, a minute 28 to go here in the first half of play. It's been an interesting half of play. I think, of course, we've talked about it at length, Minster's penalties, but now Fort Loramie has suddenly found their offense thanks to Mike Hoyne, who's just a great runner. I mean, a 57-yard run. And
it's been one play, but it doesn't take much more than that once in a while. And that big play got him right down here knocking on the door. And, Hoyne or whoever, Mesher, whoever can punch it in, we got ourselves
see what happens.
7-6 game.
We got Brandowie, we got Hoyne in the backfield. It's going to Hoyne, and he's not going to get there. Jared Hilsman, he may be a quarterback, but he can play defense because he made the stop that time.
The snap, Dave, I think felt a little high. It was tough. He almost had to reach up, and by doing that, you take your eye off anything you have on the field. Then you have to catch the ball, kind of relocate everyone, and just Minster's defense too quick to give you that slight misstep, if you will, and tough break for the Redskins that got close but come away scoreless.
Boy, that's a major defensive stand by Minster. Hilsman, and I'd like to see that replay, and here we go. Let's see. There's
a little high.
Hilsman's in it. There's the hit.
Yeah, he got around the outside. He was in the backfield, number 2. Jared Hilsman just really gave the Redskins no chance.
Oh, that's another great replay here on NKTelco Sports.
Minster, long way to go. Just a minute 20 and running. Probably just content maybe to get it away from the goal line. If Fort Loramie doesn't call a timeout, I think Minster might be very content. Remember, they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
That's going to be big. The football's at the 5-yard line, which gives the Wildcats a little bit of running room. Clock is at 57 seconds. There you see it. First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Wildcats will be careful with it. That's schmeezing.
Yeah, that was, well, be careful, but be aggressive, right?
Always take what they give you.
See, once they hurry up and go, they still have a couple timeouts left.
They'll set the chains. Take a look at this run again by Isaac Schmeezing.
That's a nice pickup. 2 timeouts left, clock now running, Dave. If they get a good pickup here, they can still do some damage before halftime.
Hilsman will take it. He'll cut inside, and nice move, but he takes it to the 35. Minster takes the timeout. 33 seconds to go. Our score, Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game or not with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's, and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
33 seconds remain here in the first half of play for Minster. Wildcats with the timeout. They have made a major defensive stop at their own 1-yard line on a 4th down play. And now they've had a couple of nice runs, 3 nice runs actually, and it's 2nd down, short yardage. But let's see what the Wildcats do. Jared Hilsman.
You never know, and not much time left. That's the kicker here. Almost intercepted again.
Just like the other one earlier in the half.
Yeah, same play. Barhorse, I believe it was number 32, jumped the route. That's twice now off his fingertips, and
he's reading it. He's seeing it.
He's just not catching it.
Not catching it.
Go get some stickum.
It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, it's good, excellent. Did everything but catch the ball. I mean, what more could you? I mean, read it, jumped it, and no one was going to catch him there if he stays on his feet. No one probably would have caught him in the first quarter.
Yeah. Hillsman, he's going to keep it.
I think
they're going to get the first down. He'll step out of bounds. You know, Barhorst, a senior and an experienced defensive player, he's reading it. He's making it just right. He just right on the edge of that big play.
Well,
for
third
Loramie.
time is a charm maybe for him, and we'll see once if he gets out. I don't think he's going to get it here as Minster. I think will be, you never know. Still 28 seconds to go. You'd almost be content. Let's just get in here, regroup a little bit. Minster's lived a little dangerously. The
Just
penalties, a turnover. They've had almost 2 near picks, but then you add all that up, they get a great defensive stop on, first and goal from the 4-yard line and own a 7-0 lead. And
Hillsman, he wanted to throw it, still wants to throw it. He'll throw it incomplete. Pass is incomplete. All sorts of contact upfield there.
21 seconds left. We'll see once if they still stay aggressive or just take the drop down. The board shows 2 timeouts left. I think they only have 1. They called the one before the kickoff and then the one here recently, so there's 1 left.
21 seconds on the board.
I'm not the coach, and Mr. Stokes in his 5th year
he's
at
got to
Minster.
go long once, don't you think?
You said that earlier, and they went underneath. You got to think Fort Loramie's guys are going to be dropping back.
He's looking long, but not open. He's going to run her out of bounds.
Live for another play, 15 seconds left. And you mentioned Garen Stokes in that 5th season. They've had 3 straight 10-win seasons. So they've gotten it done at 3. The first of those 10-win seasons was a state championship back in 2003. Lost in the playoffs the following year to Fort Recovery, who won Division 7 that same year. And then last year, battled all the way back from a 2-4 start to earn a spot in the playoffs and went all the way to the championship game before losing.
Of course, the big win over Coldwater
That
just
was
got
huge.
the Wildcats going there in the right direction in a hurry as Hillsman will get the first down.
Now, probably do. You mentioned the win against Coldwater. They were 2-4 coming into that game. You got to be thinking we're 2-5 after tonight. And that win led them to run a table, finish 6-4, I believe, or 5-5 to make the playoffs, and all the way to the state championship game.
Hillsman down the middle. That's Lemcool.
Well, they're going to have time for one more play, Dave, with 2 seconds. Now maybe they'll throw it downfield.
Well, they get the pass over the middle. Lemcool and Hillsman have that pass down pretty
Penalty,
good.
late flag here.
Didn't see that one.
Sideline.
Oh, they're going to call a sideline infraction? They're keeping him off the sidelines, that's for sure. They want him to ground the ball quickly to stop the clock.
Well, they're going to have a longer. They still have a timeout
Coach
left.
Stokes is telling them.
And again, I didn't see it, but if a referee probably gets bumped along the sideline, it's probably a sideline infraction, or if you're on the field.
They're going to start the clock, which
There was no timeout. The clock is
that's
wound
going to end
down.
it.
The
So
your score,
the first half ends.
Minster 7,
Minster enjoys a 1-touchdown lead. Our score, Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back right after this.
When I took over this farm from my dad, I knew our future success required making major changes in our operations. That meant adding acreage, more and bigger equipment, investing in powerful technology, hiring employees. We even started a seed business. Fortunately, working together with Grinnell Mutual and my local farm mutual, my agent was able to cover everything. I call that progress.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
There you see the Fort Loramie Redskins as we're about to begin the third quarter of football as the Redskins and the Minster Wildcats do battle here at Minster. Dave Helmstetter alongside me, Jeff Henshin, as we take a look at those first half numbers. It's a half that was dominated statistically by the Minster Wildcats.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. Minster runs off 271 total yards of offense. Pretty balanced, 130 on the ground, 141 through the air, compared to just 90 yards of total offense for the Redskins. 75 on the ground, a big chunk of that coming from Hoyne's 57-yard gallop and just 15 through the air. Yeah, the yards are very unbalanced. The scoreboard, though, keep that in mind, still just one score away from the Redskins from tying up at 7, just trailing 7-0. The other factor you mentioned with the stat page is Minster has 4 more penalties, and that has really cost them on some of those drives early in the game. 6 total penalties for 70 yards. And again, that really stymied their drives early on. Plus, Minster, the lone turnover of the game. Isaac Smeezing fumbled the ball on a Minster drive. And we talked about a couple other near interceptions that Fort Loramie came away with inches of probably catching them and maybe going the distance. Time of possession, which was very dominated by Minster in the first quarter, leveled out a little bit. Minster 13.5 minutes, Fort Loramie 10.5. But the only stat that matters right now is the scores. I said 7-0 Minster. Your leading rushers in the game, Mike Hoyne, I mentioned 7 carries for 65 yards. For the Wildcats, Jared Hilsman, 14 rushing attempts for 74 yards. In the passing department, the receiving department, Fort Loramie's Mike Hoyne with 2 catches for 7 yards. Minster, 4 different receivers with catches. They were led with Isaac Smeezing's 6 catches on 59 yards. Alex Lumcool, 5 catches, 60 yards. And again, the 1 turnover, a Smeezing fumble. The lone score in the ball game came in the second quarter, and that was an 8-yard run by Jared Hilsman with the 2:44 mark of the second quarter, and that gave Minster the only score of the game, and the PAT was good, and that's where we stand.
Ironically, Hilsman's best play of the first half might have been the defensive play that stopped Fort Loramie from going into the end zone on a 4th and half a yard maybe.
He came around, got around the blocker, and really, I don't know if it was Hoyne or who actually was, it might have been Hoyne, I think, with the rushing attempt, and got right on him before he had a chance really to make any type of athletic play towards the end zone.
Yeah, that was set up with Hoyne's 57-yard run, which is the bulk of the Redskins' offense. Second half is underway here on NKTelco Sports. Wildcats will have it across the 40 they go. And on the return, that's number 30, and that is John Billing. I do believe, unless...
It's a 38.
38, that's better. Thank you.
Brock Miller.
Brock Miller, that makes more sense. I wasn't quite sure that a freshman would be handling it in that spot. So Miller returns it, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Football is going to settle in at the 42-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Wildcats. And last drive they scored, Dave, they did not commit a penalty, so we'll see if they can continue that streak.
Short pass goes to the right side, and Smeezing. Swing pass across the 45 goes Smeezing.
And we'll check the pace of play again. Look for Minster to get right back into it, get to the line of scrimmage quickly, and snap the ball within about 5 seconds of the play clock starting.
It's about a 4-yard pickup. We'll call it 2nd down and 6 football at the 46. Smeezing, left side.
Good first contact by the Redskins.
Number 21 in on the stop there for Fort Loramie. That's Carter Mesher. Mesher with a fine defensive play that time.
Not only making contact, but getting a good wrap that the running back couldn't gain any positive yards forward. So a good stick and stop. And again, boy, you talk about big plays on defense. 3rd and 5 here. You hold the Cats to not a first down. You expect they probably would punt.
Hilsman, he's going to throw it.
Off the mark.
Pass intended for number 85. Cody Frericks, a tight end for Minster, and that means Minster will have to punt the football.
Just the 4th incomplete pass of the game for Hilsman. He was 13 of 16 in the first half, and that one would have been an easy first down to throw off the mark. And credit to the Fort Loramie defense. Minster with a good starting field position, and basically 3 and out, correct, Dave?
Yep, 3 and out. So Schmazing will stand at his own 32 and punt it away. Nice high punt. Hits at the 19. Fort Loramie on the return, but good coverage by Minster. Mesher tried to return it.
A lot of north and south running here, although north and south on this field doesn't get you anywhere, as that was laterally, and he caught it on the 19-yard line and finished on the 19.
Number 28, Joe Winter with the stop for Minster. So let's see if Fort Loramie. It's funny, it almost feels like the game is going to shape into a defensive battle after a relatively wide open first half.
Fort Loramie, I think, needs to feel very comfortable right now, trailing by just the 1 score, considering the struggles on offense they've had, but they've made the plays, or enough plays that they've, just 1 score down and opened up this third quarter, Dave, with a nice offensive play. Almost tackled for loss, but able to break through it and gain 8 yards.
Mesher, he came in motion. Siegel hands it off to him, and Mesher's run be a pickup of 7. They'll call it 2nd down and 3.
Mentioned this 13th year for Fort Loramie football, and they've opened up with Minster every year they've had football, and Minster has won the last 4 in a row, including last year's 26-20 game in overtime. Previous games before that have been dominated by the Wildcats.
Last year was the Thunder Bowl.
What did you do during the time delay?
We sat and waited. Not much else you can do.
First
Siegel,
down.
He'll go forward. Tackle there by number 50, Anthony Bainline. Bainline with the stop, but it's a first down for Fort Loramie as they try to show some signs of life here on offense. Yeah, it was quite a game. A delay, if I recall, was about 90 minutes.
Hour and a half. Now, did everybody wait, or do you think some of them went home and came back?
I think a few might have went home. The only thing I remember is I think Fort Loramie had an alumni event going on, and there's a lot of people taking walks over there. We'll come to the right side, and that's Nick Brandowy. It's hard to visualize Brandowy. I'm so used to him on the basketball court. But Brandowy with the run, he'll pick up 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. There you see Nick, a sophomore.
Speaking of basketball, I know it's a long way away, but Fort Loramie, nice season last year, and they have a lot coming back from a team that did very well last season. Again, that's a couple months away, but looking forward to that coming up here on NKTelco Sports as well.
Mesher.
Nice run.
Boy, he turned the corner. Play looked like it was strung out, but good defense there by the Wildcats. Number 34 with the stop. That's August Bainline. Augie Bainline with the stop for the Wildcats.
Wow, a different start, Dave, here to the second half. It was in the first half, Fort Loramie 3 and out, and Minster took over and just positive yards right down the field. Second half starts tonight. Minster 3 plays, punt. Now Fort Loramie has been nothing but positive. They've moved the chains twice now, a couple first downs. Good start for Coach Whit Parks. Again, in his 3rd season at Fort Loramie. He has 40-plus years of coaching experience, but 3 as head coach at Fort Loramie.
Straight ahead. That's Devin Wehrman, junior running back. His first carry of the night. He'll go out. Brandowy will come back in. Segel will be in the backfield. Brandowy next to him. Mesher, he'll get it as he comes in motion. Nice play.
Lemkool with a nice stick and stop. You know, we saw Fort Loramie have a nice play, and that time Lemkool, good heads-up tackling. Not only stopped him, but stuck him, and brings up now a big 3rd and long for the Fort Loramie offense.
Fort Loramie, there you see Brandowy, number 4. Number Number 32, Cody Barhorst, and number 21, Mesher. Fort Loramie's going to take out timeout. We'll take a timeout. 7:10 to go, third quarter. A score: Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back right after this.
At Grand Lake Health, we offer urgent care services within Joint Township District Memorial Hospital. Upon arrival, each patient is greeted and healthcare professionals assess the level of care required. Urgent care services extend your access to quality health care, complete for non-life-threatening problems. Our state-of-the-art facility and host of diagnostic and treatment options allow you to receive the treatment you deserve in a timely and courteous way. Grand Lake Health Systems, the highest quality health care for you and your family.
Fort Loramie takes the timeout to think about this one. This is a big play here early in the second half. 7:10 to go on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Third down, and they'll call it 8. And it'll be interesting to call here because it's really not two down territory.
No,
so they've got to punt it if they don't get the first down here. And Coach Parks for Fort Loramie, he called the timeout. It's been interesting, the shuffle of players from the Fort Loramie sideline.
Well, they've had a chance to get everybody on the same page, and we'll see once if the O can outmind or outwit the D.
Now Hoyne's back in the lineup. And now we have a delay of game. Or too many men on the field. Is that what it was?
I believe so. Do a quick count here.
Well, they brought Hoyne in, and he's been shuttling his backs in and out, and there was a little confusion about a play or two before this between, I think it was Weirman and perhaps Brandowy.
Well, they got to hustle now. The play clock down to 10 seconds. It's at 10 now. And we'd hate to take it. Remember, this is all following a timeout, so they got to get going. Play clock at 5.
He's got Hoyne in the backfield, Mesher in motion. He's going long. Here we go. It's incomplete rather, and
Smeezing back there defending for Minster, doing a nice job, kind of not blocking, but just making sure no one was going to catch the overthrow. And
now they'll have to punt it away, and this gets more interesting.
As you said, they're number 4, Smeezing, making a play on the ball enough just to make sure that
Barhorst would like to have had an interference.
Well, he'd probably like to make the catch. Remember, on defense, he's had 2 chances.
Yeah, just off his fingertips.
I know it's easy to say that from up here, much more difficult down on the field, but that's where you make plays, and there's a penalty prior to the snap.
Play getting just a little sloppy here in the third quarter as Holdhouse is back to punt.
Again,
procedure means Loramie.
2 first downs in this drive. Now they're going to be back to where they almost started here if they don't be careful and give Minster a very good chance for a good field position on a good return.
Started with a critical 3rd and 9. They called the timeout. Then they end up with a delay of game and a
14.
procedure.
Yep.
So they lose 10 yards after the timeout. Holdhouse, he'll stand at his 21-yard line. Low line drive punt, tried to get it away from Smeezing.
Well, got a good bounce.
And Smeezing can't quite chase that one down. And
decent turnout.
Yep. Worked out. That's what they were trying to do, is keep it away from Smeezing, I believe.
Coach Garen Stokes now for the Wildcats, his 5th season. I mentioned earlier, Dave, 3 straight 10-win seasons for the Wildcats, and they've had a very good run of football here at Minster as of late. And started back even with Nate Moore came here. He had some good years, and Stokes came in 6-4, then 12-3, 10-3, and 10-5. So good turnaround. Remember back in the 2007 season, the Wildcats in 2007 0-10. So in 11 seasons, they've turned it around, and a state title under their belt in 2014 and a state runner-up last season.
Hillsman will keep it. He'll go across the 25.
was across the 25-yard line where he tackled by 70, Sam Putoff.
6.5 minutes to go. Take another look at that one on the replay. There you see Hillsman. Nice game. Tackle there by number 70, Sam Putoff. Nice block in there by Anthony Bainline, number 50, at the start of that play for the Wildcats. Hillsman down the middle.
Intercepted.
This time it's intercepted. That's number 4. That's Nick Brandewee. This time the Redskins hang on to it. They finally read that play over the middle, Jeff.
Yeah, Brandewee did a nice job. He dropped right back basically in the line of fire and just put his hands up and caught it. So a nice job defensively by Brandewee. And Redskins now, back on the Minster side of the field, need to take advantage of this opportunity. And now the second Minster turnover, and take another look at it here, is watch Brandewee read it right away. And nice job of picking up the receiver, number 85.
Nice catch by Brandewee.
Frericks, the intended receiver, and we've seen some wide open throws and catches by the Wildcats down the middle. That time the Redskins defense makes a big play.
Jump passes to number 44, that's C.J. Billing. Big tight end makes the catch. That's
nice
a new play.
That was something different, and it happened fairly quick, as I thought at first Siegel was going to rush it, and that kind of drew the defense up and just jumped over the line of scrimmage. And more importantly, C.J. Billing catching and securing and falling forward. First down for the Redskins.
Let's see what Fort Loramie does. In motion, Brandewee. Brandewee tries to turn the corner.
He ran a long way and gained a yard. It was Brandewee in the first half. They ran that same direction. Remember, he's a left-hander when he threw the halfback pass, if you will, going to the left. That time, Minster had some guys in there right away to kind of disrupt him and make him go backwards a little bit. And that was enough to let the rest of the defense come over and collapse and result really no gain, maybe even a loss of a yard.
Mason Kemper, number 6, into the lineup for Fort Loramie. Siegel in the shotgun. Couple of backs guarding him. Siegel will take it. He'll go to the right side. He'll pick up.
Handoff to number 2.
Looks like about 3.
I believe Devin. It was 6. Mason Kemper.
Kemper with a carry.
Well, again, now Fort Loramie needs to get some positive yards here. You don't get it on third, get it on fourth, but give yourself something manageable.
Siegel in shotgun. Snap goes to Werman. Werman will go to the left side.
Not a first down, but another play coming here, a critical fourth down.
Going to make it, what, 4th down and 5?
It's a long 5, and Minster defense has already made some big fourth down plays tonight. Be called on to do it again.
Another big defensive play, as you said, Jeff, for Minster.
Minster prevailed on 2 fourth down plays in the first half. Interception in the end zone, and then the goal line stop that you spoke about earlier.
Siegel, this goes to Bensman. They're going to throw it. It's caught. It's completed. Near the end zone. He's not in, though.
So Mesher, the same style play, going to his left. Carter Mesher with the throw. I'm sorry.
That was
Brandewee with the throw. Yes, Brandewee.
It's a Mesher. This time they're on but it's 1st and goal.
Here we take another look at it, Dave, as it was Brandewee.
Lefty.
Yes. So 1st and goal, though, now just over a yard, Dave. So look for the Redskins here. Multiple chances. Well, he did everything he could, Dave, to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Not much of a gain.
But it beats losing to Hoyne. Really had to work. What can Minster's defense do it 3 more times?
Spotted at the 2. Little fake inside, go outside.
You
Haven't had much
like
luck
mixing
here.
it up a little bit, huh?
Little
something different.
Little misdirection. But you know what? Coaches think that they can execute. They can put it in, so we'll see. I think they can execute. Got that big tackle over on the left side. We're going the other way. Here's our right side mesher. And see what kind of coach I would have made.
Well,
would have lost 5.
Hillsman, I believe, with the tackle for yards or lost yards. And we got a running back down. I believe that was Mesher maybe down. So
yeah, Mesher, he had no running room, that's for sure.
Tackled around the shoulders and thrown down. Hopefully he's okay. They're going to
take a look at this one again. That play just gets strung out.
It just starts pushing back.
Yeah, look at
Minster's
this.
line
Boy,
is
what
in
a great defense is what you say.
Legal tackle. He didn't. I thought maybe it was more of a horse collar, but he had nothing around that area. He just grabbed him around the shoulder pads.
Great defense there by Minster. And, we'll take a moment here to
he's up now.
Thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Minster Bank, and Schwiedemann's Pharmacy, all bringing you tonight's game. We also would like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school boys football on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Friday, August 25th at 11 p.m., Tuesday, August 29th at 7 p.m., and you can also watch the games on demand at nktelco.net.
Well, Mesher made it off the field somewhat on his own power. He kind of jogged off the final 5 to 10 yards, now being treated on the sideline. Obviously dinged up a little bit. Hopefully they can get him fixed up.
Siegel, he's going to carry it. Almost loses the football. He does. Picked up by Fort Loramie. They're going to call the ball down.
Forward pass, incomplete.
Oh. Do we have replays? Forward play.
Dave's thinking of a.
I want to see it again.
No,
My eyes aren't
get
that good.
Good pursuit by the Minster defense. Really blocked everything up, and fortunately, he didn't fumble the ball there. And he tried to push it out, so right there.
I guess it's a pass. Boy,
hey, Brett Favre made a living at it. Is he down?
He
Maybe you say.
Oh, I think he's down.
Yeah, that's bang, bang.
That's been a hard one to call.
And they're going to go
got
back.
a penalty.
Remember, this was 1st and goal from the 1, correct?
1st and goal from the 1. It's deja vu a little bit.
Well, that's twice now that that they've had it. It's a game of inches, and they almost lost yards in the first attempt. Hoyne had to bust his tail just to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then from then everything's just been negative.
Well, let's see what happens.
4th and 11.
4th and 11. Brandewy in motion. Siegel, he'll go to left side. Pressure on him. He'll throw to the end zone, intercepted. They're going to run it out. Minster will have it at about the 7-yard line.
Well, the second turnover, the second interception. So they made an attempt in the end zone, comes away with nothing. Again, just good defense by the Wildcats. And
let's see
tough
this
throw
play
here
again.
with Siegel running against his body. And intercepted right at the goal.
34. That's Augie Bainline. 52 put the heat on. As Max Prenger, he really had Siegel, the pressure on Siegel, and forced that play. So once again, the story tonight, we're talking offense, Jeff.
Yep.
It's really Minster's defense.
They've made some huge plays when it's been first, within 3 feet of a touchdown for the Redskins, and not been able to get what they need. You know, you mentioned earlier on the first time they were down there, the hustle play of Minster hustling down just to tackle. You know, you think, oh, you know, you bust your tail and you stop them short, make them earn it, and they have not been able to get it in. And
it's been a couple of great goal line stands by Minster to keep them out of the end zone, which only has to be frustrating for the Redskins. Yep. That's for sure. 1:20 to go here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 2nd down and 8. Hilsman, he'll keep it straight up the middle. He'll get to near the 10-yard line.
Still 3rd and 3 or 4, so.
Now you got the factor, if you don't get the first down and you punt, going to be punting near your end zone. Of course, the field position battle then will stay with Fort Loramie.
Took a 7-0 lead in the second quarter. They still hold on to that.
Minster defense, Dave's come up with a number of huge plays here. Fort Loramie, you know, they've done solid here in the second half as well after giving up almost 300 yards or 275 in the first half.
Hilsman will carry it.
That'll be just enough. Didn't need a lot, but got enough. Moved the chains.
Big first down for Minster.
Ball to 20, first down Wildcats.
Huge play for the offense. May not seem like much of a game, but just keeping the ball now and the possession, keeping the offense on the field.
There you see it. Number 6, Mason Kemper, and number 20, Nolan Holthouse in on the stop, but Hilsman gets the first down. So it's 1st and 10, football to 20. Clock at 10 seconds here in the 3rd quarter of play. Schmidtmeyer will carry the football to the 25, but we got a penalty.
It was on Fort Loramie.
There you see the officials talking it over.
Illegal substitution against the Redskins.
Illegal substitution.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty.
And that's going to give the Wildcats, they're going to take the penalties. It'll be 1st and 5, down over, and let the clock wind down.
Let the clock end here in the 3rd quarter, and we've got 12 more minutes of football upcoming here on NKTelco Sports. Our score, Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll return right after this.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, pop money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Final 12 minutes of tonight's game, 4th quarter beginning. Minster with a 7-0 lead.
In a game that really is almost like who wants to win it right now. Both teams have had opportunities. Minster stalled earlier in their possessions in the first half to kind of blow the game open, and Fort Loramie has not been able to cash in on some golden opportunities in front of the Minster end zone, and that's why you play the game. Remember last year's game, more of an offensive scoring battle, 26-20 your final in overtime.
Yeah, it was kind of a back and forth game, a lot of big plays on offense by both teams, and then finally at the end, in overtime, Minster prevailed. Hilsman, I think he had 350 plus total offensive yards in that contest. Hilsman, he'll take it this time, and he'll pick up a couple of yards.
is short of the
Well,
first
Hillsman nearing the century mark on the ground. He coming into the fourth quarter, 17 rushing attempts for 91 yards.
Third down and very short yardage for the Wildcats. They'll get the first down. Hillsman needed about a half a yard or less. And he picks the first down up, and Minster's drive continues.
Ball on the 44-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats.
Nice aggressive play by Hillsman and stayed low to the ground. You didn't see him at first. Next thing you know, there he is. He's popping through the line to gain and gaining a couple more. Take another look at it here.
Hillsman, there you see it. Boom, right off his own guy and dives forward. Nick Brandewee with the stop for Fort Loramie.
Good job there by the Redskins. I believe Hoyne.
Number 45 with the stop. That's Mike Hoyne as Schmidtmeyer. No running room that way as Hoyne makes sure of it with a...
Again, good proper tackle. Head up.
Beautiful tackle.
The wrap and drop. Schmidtmeyer nowhere to go at contact. He basically dropped him. Good job of defense by Mike Hoyne.
Nice play.
Yep.
So that makes it second down and 10. Or second and 11. They're going to say it was a loss of a yard. Hillsman over the middle.
Lemcool had a crease ball just underthrown. The sixth incomplete pass for Hillsman. 14 of 20 now with the interception on the night as well.
There you see Hillsman, number 2. Also in the lineup, Alex Schmidtmeyer, number 22. He's standing right next to him. He's a sophomore.
And there's a whistle, Dave, and a timeout.
Timeout, Minster. 10:03 on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Our score, Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us!
There you see the Minster huddle. They took the timeout. It's just amazing. We're talking during the commercial about the swing in time of possession in this game. Early on, totally all of Minster, and now the numbers are altogether different.
Minster dominated the first quarter, almost 8 minutes of action compared to 4. It's actually now Fort Loramie with nearly 20 minutes of action, of time of possession, but Minster still the 7-0 lead, and more importantly, the strike across the middle for the first down.
Frericks with the catch, and that's a Minster first down, and that's a big play as we go under 10 minutes to play in this one. Cody Frericks, a 6'6 junior.
Big target.
Connects with Hillsman.
Big first down, and the time of possession maybe is a little exaggerated. As fast as Minster's running plays, they're going at it it seems like within 10 seconds of the play clock. Fort Loramie a little bit more deliberate. Fort Loramie able to get a few more first downs after that first quarter. It does chew up the time, and you look back, if Fort Loramie is able to punch a couple of those scores in and they take the lead, how deliberate that offense can be with the clock running, and you're taking all the 25 seconds and you're getting your first downs. That's frustrating for the team that's behind. But Minster's been able to maintain this lead, and right now they are doing their best to kill the clock. I don't know how it's kind of tough for one of these teams like Minster that plays fast-paced to say, okay, let the play clock run down to 4 before you snap it. I mean, they seem that's difficult for some teams to do when you're used to going right away.
So we're going to have a timeout on the field with 9:01 to go. We'll take a break as well. Minster 7, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back after this.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
If you want to save 70% on your heating, cooling, and hot water costs, the answer is right under your feet. Let New Knoxville Supply install a water furnace geothermal system and use the natural temperature from the earth for a more constant temperature in your home. Also ask about our new Symphony home management system. Control temperatures, track energy usage, and receive safety alerts for everything, including your sump pump. All from anywhere, anytime. Now is the time to calculate your savings at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Hillsman looking for Frericks again. Pass this time incomplete. Off target. That'll stop our clock at 8:50. 4th down and 6, and Isaac Schmeezing is going to be called upon to punt it. He's going to stand at the Minster 40.
Well, this will give Fort Loramie, if that's a first down by Minster, we're still a lot of time left, but boy, it gives Minster a chance to move the ball down the field more, and even if they have to punt, really pin the Redskins deeper in their own territory. Right now, the Redskins will have a chance to field it probably around their 10, maybe a little bit closer. That's a shorter kick. They're going to come up.
Short kick. It hits at the 30 and bounds to about the
break
27.
For the Redskins.
Carter Mesher was back deep for Fort Loramie, standing at his 10. And he did basically an 18-yard difference.
Kicks like that, though, you have to be careful. Guys blocking don't always know how short the kick is, and you would hate for it to hit you, while you're
could
blocking.
Very easily happen.
Yes.
Plus, it had kind of an unusual spin on it as well. But looks like Fort Loramie is in business, the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, plenty of time.
Yeah, to get down to the point where with the type of offense they run, not so much a hurry up, but you got to think about you're not going to have too many more chances maybe on offense.
Mesher, but he's brought down by Jared Hillsman.
Mesher went out the last series with the injury, and good to see him back in, but that time no chance to gain
Look at this one.
Progress, and just, Schmeezing, boy, he's been
Hillsman,
I should say, been all over the place.
He read that play before the ball was almost in his hands. That's a great read. 7-yard loss on that one. Wow, on a running play.
Well, I never would have guessed that, I guess, when he got strung out. Well, he took the snap himself, and evidently his first step was backwards.
So it's 2nd down and 17.
Big loss.
They're going to throw it. Siegel. He going long.
Open receiver.
Open.
Brandewee with a good catch, wide open.
45-yard line.
Heck of a throw by Siegel.
46, yeah.
Right type of throws like that, when you got a guy that's basically in between the crease of the defense, it's like you see it like, okay, don't overthrow, don't underthrow, don't short arm. He just followed through very nicely, and
watch him put the ball right on the money.
It's right where it needed to be. And good throw, good catch, good space by Brandewee, knowing where to go. And more importantly, that makes up for that 7-yard loss that I'm still kind of shaking my head about.
Really?
This is a lateral. Oh, it's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Picked up.
And that's a touchdown. Maybe
it's going to be a touchdown for Minster.
Hillsman.
Is that Hillsman?
Yes,
with
number 2.
He picks it up. No doubt it's a lateral.
Wow, what an amazing turn of events. After a great pass and catch, and probably the first time tonight they've thrown a lateral.
Yeah.
And he dropped, and it doesn't connect.
Once again, Minster's defense.
Pretty quick. Taking a look at it right here. Hoyne definitely, there was a backwards pass and just took his eye off the ball. Obviously, he probably felt the pressure as Minster was going to be there to tackle. Tough break for the Redskins, and heads up play by the Minster defense.
Schmeezing will try the extra point kick. Jacob Hoyne, number 13, will hold, and Prenger will snap.
Delay a game against the Wildcats.
Delay a game. Wow, it was a quick 25-second, I guess.
Celebration.
Oh, celebration.
I guess.
Well,
do they have that in high school?
I thought you just acted like you did it before and give the ball to the referee and went, they've got school to go to on Monday,
Dave.
Come on.
Sorry.
You got to control yourself. I have no idea. Maybe it was delay. Now the play clock's down to 15 now. For as often as it's usually not the case for Wildcats, that time it was.
Kick is up.
Off the post.
Off the post. Off target, our score, 7:22 to go in this one. Minster 13, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back after this.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
Another big play by the Minster defense. And this one results in a Jared Hillsman touchdown run with a loose football. And,
it really wasn't the Minster defense.
It
was just a misthrown, like you said off air. If he just hits him in the numbers, he at least probably has a chance to catch it where you normally do instead of out by your feet. And would he have gone anywhere when he caught it? Probably not. But the key word is he probably still would have possession of it.
Yep.
And just a tough break, a lateral, and it's a live ball. And
one of the most athletic players on the field
right
scoops
there.
it up.
Isn't it always the case with the good ones and the athletic ones are in the right place at the right time?
Yep.
If I remember right, I think Hillsman had a number of tackles last year. Maybe if I got the right guy, like he was a leader in tackles, and he's been all over the place tonight. We've seen him.
He's played very, very well
you mentioned
on defense.
the big defensive stand on the goal line. That very first one they had, he came in and nullified that attempt. And
well, let's see if Fort Loramie can bounce back. Redskins trail by 13, 7:15 to go. They just found themselves moving the football and then
bang. But I was worried their last possession, trailing by 7, how much time was left and how they were going to have to do this in a hurry just because of what was left in the game. Now they're down 2 scores and, have to be a little bit more aggressive here and efficient.
Pass is incomplete. Makes it 2nd down and 10. 7:11 to play on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Minster defense working on a shutout, and they have had to earn it.
Yeah, there's been some games you have a shutout and teams never get into the red zone. Fort Loramie's been there a couple times.
Hoyne trying to go forward.
No gain.
3rd and 10, and Fort Loramie's going to need one more kind of a not miracle play, but big play because
looks like Augie Bainline in on the stop on this one. Yep, there's Bainline. Frericks.
And friends. Well, 3rd and 10, clock continues. Again, it's moving. We're down to 6.5. Long way to go here for the Redskins.
Siegel going long. Intercepted. Number 14, Austin Brown, number 14 with the interception.
Brown,
6'3" sophomore.
Yeah, 6'3", that's a tall defensive. Austin Brown, 6'3", that's a tall defensive back. Tough to throw over, and the ball a little underthrown. An easier play for Brown to come in and, again, doing a nice job shielding the Fort Loramie receiver from making a play on the ball. Had his head turned, saw the ball coming. Fort Loramie had to make a play or try to do something to gain the first down. They went deep. One aspect is if you had to punt on 4th down, at least maybe this turns out to be almost as good as a punt on 4th, but tough break for the Redskins. Now again, the clock. Will Minster continue the rapid pace and try to chew some clock up, or just go with what they've done all night? And that's kind of avoid penalties and basically just keep moving the ball.
I think they're going to try and take a little bit of time off the clock. Short gain there by the Wildcats. Pick up, we'll call it 2, 2nd down and 8. And, Fort Loramie just went for it all on that play.
If it works, great. In this case, though, you know, it turned out to be a decent punt. I doubt they would have gone for it on 4th and 10 from back here. But the pass just inside, and the Minster defender in this case just did not let the offensive receiver from Fort Loramie have a chance at it. Nice play. Good read.
Hillsman gets near that first down, and boy, now the clock is looming large for Fort Loramie. If it wasn't before,
it is now.
It is now. They got that first down, so the clock's going to start up, and here we go. First National Bank Think First scoreboard. As you can see, the clock count down.
That becomes the enemy right now. It's not necessarily the players in black and orange, but the clock winding down, and boy, Fort Loramie, if they can't find a way to turn this around, they're going to have a, you know, what if situation going on that easily could have turned this game around in their favor.
Schmeezing to the right side. Stopped there by C.J. Billing, number 44.
Boy, Minster gets a first down here.
You pick up 3 yards and you run the play, and then Hillsman comes back, picks up 4 or 5, and you know, the clock starts to melt in a hurry. Wildcats controlling the ball.
They have delayed it a little bit. The play clock down, getting now down to 10, and they snap it there.
There goes Schmeezing, near midfield, into Fort Loramie territory at the 49. Schmeezing with a great burst of speed there as he found the hole, and he has the first down.
Take another good look here. You mentioned the speed, and you'll see him come right into your living room right about there. Nice hole. Good job by the offensive line. You mentioned earlier, a completely, basically new offensive line due to graduation.
Number 15, Mark Sager with the tackle for Fort Loramie.
Minster hasn't allowed a sack. I don't know if Fort Loramie's really put much pressure. More times than not, I'd say no, he's had time to throw, so good job by the Minster offensive line.
There's Hillsman.
Boy, untouched.
He'll go to the 35-yard line. Another big pickup.
The clock will stop at 4:06, and again, if Minster takes care of business right here, I think they open up the season with their 5th straight win over their neighbors to the south, the Fort Loramie Redskins.
There you go. See Hillsman finds that hole. Boy, it's a big one there.
Two-hand tap wouldn't even paid off there. He didn't get touched until he had the first down. Remember, Minster, they made the state finals last year. They started off the season 2-4 and had Coldwater coming in here for week 7, and they beat them. And that snapped Coldwater's win streak, and there's
Hillsman still on his feet across the 20 to about the 15. And boy, Hillsman just take it over now.
Yeah, he's controlling it now. Right now, offense for Minster just dominating. And you know, last year when the Wildcats beat Coldwater here, that they gave them a huge win, and they went on to the playoffs. And I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but of their 15 games they played last year, one team Minster played had a record under 500.
That's impressive.
14 of the teams they played ended the season with 5-5 or better.
That's a strong schedule.
Yeah, and granted, some of those in the playoffs obviously were winning teams, but even in the regular season, you know, some good schedule competition, as you said, and that's why a 5-5, 6-4 can get you into the playoffs.
Hillsman, Schmeezing now. He'll go left side. Isaac Schmeezing moves it to about the 12. We'll call it a gain of about 3.
Mentioned the
5. Make it
4
second
straight
and 5.
wins over the Redskins. This now make the overall series 11-4 in favor of Minster. Mentioned all the opening night or opening week 1 contests. They've met twice in the playoffs with Minster victorious in both of them.
Hillsman will stand in the backfield. Next to him is Schmeezing. Schmeezing driving forward, headed for the end zone, inside the 5. Just straight up football now.
Yeah, I think a little bit of Fort Loramie, you know, it's tough when you the inevitable is at hand and you fought hard and plays just didn't, you know, you just didn't make the play at the right time, and
Ball at the 5-yard line.
Straight ahead, power
Minster
drive.
can sense it, and right now just strength and force just overpowering the Redskin D, and we'll see once here if Minster continues to move forward, and I would assume they would.
Hillsman. Schmeezing.
It's close.
Close, and he stopped there by a host of Redskins. Number 12, Nathan Ratterman. Number 44, C.J. Billing, all in on the stop.
Well, no lightning tonight, Dave, and it's going to end
nice.
on time. A beautiful football.
Beautiful night,
yes,
isn't it?
No complaints. And
you know, there's a great crowd on hand
there
here,
is.
too. Very, very good-sized crowd for Minster and Fort Loramie. Schmeezing, touchdown. 1:14 to play in this one, and Minster
Touchdown run by number 4, Isaac Schmeezing.
puts themselves up by 3 touchdowns, 19-0. 1:14 to left in this one, and that
just
should
again,
wrap it up.
Minster taking advantage, I think, right now of kind of a deflated, defeated, I won't say effort, but just, you know, when you see the end is near, it's tough to keep.
They're just pounding away. Minster just grinded this one out. Relentless, not a bad word to use. Schmeezing. There's the hold, Hoyne by Hoyne. Kick is good. 1:14 to go. Our score, Minster 20, Fort Loramie nothing. We'll be back after this.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
Minster about to kick off. They scored their 3rd touchdown of the night. It's pretty well put this one out of reach for Fort Loramie with only 1:14 to go. And boy, that last drive was very impressive by Minster. They
just again, I think
marched down the field.
They overpowered Fort Loramie in the end, and the score's going to be very, I want to say, not a good situation of the game. 20-0. I think Minster dominated, but really, it was an even game until the lateral that turned into a fumble return for touchdown, and that took the wind out of the sails for the Redskins. But up until that point, if you look at all the opportunities, the 2 almost interceptions that Fort Loramie had on defense, twice on the 1-yard line, once at 1st and goal, I believe it was.
Yeah, you know, it's just like a break or something. If it could have gone their way, maybe Fort Loramie, that is, you know, one of the couple of possible or potential interceptions in that first half that just went off the fingertips, and you know, you just kind of go through the whole thing, or
That's
you score.
It's a game of what ifs, and they're going to be scratching their head now. Minster, on the other hand, if all that would happen, they're like, boy, if we don't have penalties in those first couple drives we had in the game, we could have, you know, potentially scored 2 touchdowns right away on our opening drives and really kind of put this game away, but it didn't happen. And Fort Loramie, for what, if we play 48 minutes of the game, for what, 44 minutes of it, 43, basically we're within one big play of tying it up.
Yeah, it just, they were chasing the mouse and couldn't quite get him. But overall, I would think outside probably the penalties, if you're Minster, you got to be happy with a first game win over a credible opponent, credible rival, and it's got to make them feel pretty good.
It's one of those wins where, you won, guys, but we got a lot that we can still be critical of.
A lot to work on between week 1 and week 2.
Don't get a big head yet because you still made some mistakes tonight.
Yeah,
but made a few big plays there on that goal line. Really, that's where it counts. And when you don't score, and Minster shut the door twice on them.
And you almost think those goal line stands. That almost relates back to playoff experience, to being able to handle the pressure, because that's pretty unusual to have 2 goal line stands that were so important in a game,
especially
this early.
where it was first and goal from the 1. You know, it's a very difficult thing to do when you got athletic guys on both sides of the ball. It's tough to hold them out just from running forward. So Minster was able to do that tonight. I don't know how many times you'll see that situation. You hate to be in that situation on defense, but when you are, you make the play.
Great defensive effort by Minster, and it's going to result in a 20-0 shutout over Fort Loramie as 1 second remains in this one. Fort Loramie with their final possession of tonight's game. Siegel's going to throw it. Last play of the game. And he's going to be brought down after a gain of a couple of yards. And this game is history. The Minster Wildcats take a 20-0 win over Fort Loramie on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. We'll be back with our recap right after this.
We knew that we could use hometown opportunity as an avenue to reach out to people, not just in this community, but across the state.
Hometown opportunity was my saving grace, honestly.
We viewed it as a great resource for us to get the word out about our company.
I saw all the commercials, billboards, and I thought, just give it a shot, why not? And they offered me a photography job on the spot, which was thrilling because I've been searching for months.
The Hometown Opportunity website definitely makes that connection.
For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
Here at Minster, the Wildcats win the opening night of the high school football season with an impressive 20-0 win over Fort Loramie. Strong defense by the Wildcats really is one of the biggest reason for the win tonight. Had some good offensive numbers in the first half, but when the end, you look at the Minster defense, it played very well here tonight with 2 major goal line stands against Fort Loramie.
Yeah, the big goal line stands like we talked about. How many times can you do that? They did it twice, and maybe of those 2 drives had to do it maybe multiple times in those drives and came up big. And then they take a lateral, which is a fumble, obviously pick it up, and they return it for a score. And that, I think, really was the backbreaker of the game. That came with 7:22 left to go in the game, and it was still at that time Fort Loramie just made a great first down pass and catch here at like 2nd and 17. They drop one in, they get a first down. And you're thinking, boy, Fort Loramie's going, and then next play, the lateral is not picked up. It's fumbled. Hillsman picks it up, 40 yards for a score, and it just felt like that was the backbreaker.
Definitely the key play in the game.
Just quickly now, the total numbers of the game. Minster on offense, just over 400 yards of offense total, 405, 242 coming on the ground, 163 through the air. And for Fort Loramie, just under 200 yards of total offense, 184. 98 through the air and 86 on the ground, and you add that up with the defense that Minster had, and that's why they threw a goose egg on the board. I won't say lucky, but they made some big plays, but that game could easily switch, as we mentioned numerous times, if Fort Loramie could punch it in. Quickly also for rushing Minster, Jared Hillsman led the way, 24 carries, 143 yards on the ground by Jared Hillsman. For Fort Loramie, Mike Hoyne ended the game with 70 yards. 57 of those came on one play, though, that got his team down near the end zone and early in the game. Could not cash in. Receiving for the Minster Wildcats, Isaac Smeezing, 7 catches for 63 yards. And for Fort Loramie, Mason Kemper, a couple catches for 22. And that basically the recap of the game. It came down to Minster's defense making the big plays.
And our players of the game for tonight, NKTelco sponsoring our players of the game. These guys will get T-shirts for the visiting Fort Loramie Redskins. Player that Jeff just mentioned here, Mike Hoyne. Mike had the big offensive play, gaining 57 yards out of his 70 yards rushing to set up what Fort Loramie had hoped to be a touchdown.
Yes.
And then Mike played a very, very good job on defense throughout the night. So another good two-way performance by Mike Hoyne. He's our player of the game for Fort Loramie. For the Wildcats, Jared Hillsman, that's really probably no surprise to anybody, but, you know, Jared, the offensive numbers you kind of take for granted, or I don't want to say you take for granted, but you kind of anticipate that those numbers might be there, but Jared also had some huge defensive plays tonight for Minster.
And one you won't see in the stats is one of those first and goals following the Hoyne run. He came in on 4th down from the left side, and I believe it was Hoyne. He got in the backfield to stymie that attempt for score, so that became critical. And then he picked up what I, again, feel was the backbreaker for the Redskins, a lateral that was dropped, and Hillsman there to pick it up 40 yards later. He's in the end zone. That gave Minster the 2-score lead at that point.
Good night for the Wildcats. They win 20-0 over Fort Loramie. We'll wrap it up here. We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game: Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental, West Staff Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, Upper Valley Career Center, Fowler's TV, German Farmers Insurance, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Minster Bank, and Schwederman's Pharmacy, all bringing you tonight's game. We'd also like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of high school boys football on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, Friday, August 25th at 11 p.m., and Tuesday, August 29th at 7 p.m. You can also watch the games on demand at nktelco.net. Also like to thank our crew here this evening in the van tonight: Isaac Sell and Scott Robinson. On the camera was Ian Bolheimer, Raquel Bolheimer, Tyler Wolf, and announcers for tonight's game. I'm Dave Helmstetter, and alongside me is Jeff Henchen. And once again, the First National Bank Think First scoreboard, our final score from Minster. The Wildcats a winner. Minster 20, Fort Loramie nothing.